friends, if you did not notice yet, today is World Communion Sunday. And World Communion Sunday was started in 1936 by the Presbyterian Church. It emphasized that we are one in the Spirit and the gospel of Jesus Christ. Today, World Communion Sunday is celebrated around the world, demonstrating that the Church, founded on Jesus Christ, peacefully shares God-given goods in a world increasingly destabilized by globalization and global market economies based on greed. And so, let me just take you through everything that's here today, because everything means something. The beautiful teal mantle that you see on the communion table, I purchased when I was studying business in Bangalore, India in 2008. And the pottery vessel that you see there that has hues of pink and gray was given to me by my father from one of his trips to the Dominican Republic in the year 2000. He's since passed away. And the little drum I stole from my husband's studio. Yesterday, before I came to church to do the table, and I believe that's from Jamaica. Is that from Jamaica? Is that Whittaker? Africa. Okay. And if you look around, Eric did a great job lending me his flags, but also buying additional flags, and he was great at allowing us to use them this morning. But also look at the beautiful quilts. This one has images of Asia, maybe Japan, and over here is a vision of pretty much the world. And they were made by our very own Carmen Padilla. We have not only things that we have brought from other countries, but also things that our very own hands have made here at Fort Washington Collegiate Church in this neighborhood. And so we come together this morning in unity, saying that we are one in God. And the text this morning provides us with the same message. I just want you to know that I can preach from Philippians 2 the whole year. It is such a rich text, and I had to hold back a lot, because if I went into, post-colonial hermeneutics, you would be like, get out. So I said I need to keep it manageable. So here we go. Paul was incarcerated when he wrote this letter to the Philippians. And Philippi, being a colony of the Roman Empire, its citizens had the many issues that colonized people have. Who is better? Matters of citizenship were at the core of the conversation most of the time. Who enjoys the benefits of the empire and who does not enjoy such benefits? And to what extent can we access the benefits? And so his aim is to have this community of believers embrace their unity, not based on the realities of being colonized, but the unity in Christ. And Paul makes citizenship of heaven a bonding agent for the people of Philippi as a countercultural dynamic. And so some scholars contend that Paul was attempting to create an alternative anti-imperial society in each of the urban centers of the empire. Nonetheless, whether that's true or not, he further makes this appeal of unity a connection to humility. So not only he's saying that humility is essential to our unity, but it's a requirement to live in community. So he makes a call and puts for not only the immediate community that read his letter, but for us, the Church of Jesus Christ in the world, to put the interest of others above our individual interests. What a concept in a world that teaches us to take care of number one, always number one. According to Professor Susan Eastman from Duke Divinity School, she says that the story of Christ in this text is moving from separation to solidarity, and from difference to likeness, as Christ moves into the most despairing depths of human existence. In the form of a slave, he mirrors back to us the reality of our own enslavement to the issues of this world, to sin, to death. He comes very near, so near, that he gets under our skin. This is the kindness of God, in that God becomes our kind, kin to us. This is the incarnation. And it is the source of the life-transforming power that animates Paul's ethical teaching, particularly in verse 13 where he says, "Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, for it is God who is at work in you, enabling you both to will and work for God's glory." Amen. What a challenge. That the call of Christ becomes so personal to us that it just gets under our skin, and that we must do justice and peace in the world. Our call to empty ourselves, to kenosis, and to put the interest of others before ours, to move from difference to likeness, from separation to solidarity. How can we do that, friends, today? We have been outraged. Oh, I'm not going to say we, because I haven't been. But some have been outraged in an uproar regarding members of the NFL kneeling during the national anthem. And the only reason, in my opinion, there has been such an uproar about this is because we fail to recognize the pain that we, as a nation, have inflicted on our own citizens, never mind others around the world. To take a knee, in my opinion, is in many ways to reach down into our humility and demonstrate that we are in deep pain, pain that often cannot be articulated by words, sadness and disappointment beyond our understanding. It is to say that we are moving, yes, from separation to solidarity with those who have been victims of racism, homophobia, xenophobia, abuse, and neglect by our nation. It is not, again, in my opinion, an anti-patriotic expression, but in the contrary, it's an American expression of accountability and protest. It is our own right, I believe, last time I checked, to exercise under our very Constitution what we believe. Rights that many have sacrificed their own lives to protect, including, but not limited to, many Puerto Rican soldiers. Don't we, friends, have the right to protest? To kneel, lay down, or cry if we feel that that is what needs to be done for our pain to be conveyed? Do we not have the right to be outraged when American citizens in the island of Puerto Rico are without power 100%? Without power, water, or anything to eat. And our response as a nation is denied, delayed, and insufficient. we further deny as a nation that we have been accomplices in the demise of its own territory. When the empire, like the empire in the time of Paul, places a law like the Jones Act on its own territory, it is the sternest shackle, a slow tightening noose around the throat of a people. And for those of us that don't understand what this means, what it means is that anywhere in the world, the people of Puerto Rico can buy anything, but it cannot reach them unless first stops in the United States, and then comes and that crew is replaced with an American crew. And the ship that has the American flag now has the cargo. To then bring it to Puerto Rico, because it is illegal for any nation around the world to directly bring anything to that tiny island. It first has to stop here, change boats, change crew, and change flags to then make it to those people. And that means that then any goods that finally reach the islands are at a price of 20 to 40% higher than it would originally be. And how do we not, can we not protest that sometimes we don't have it right? Can we not protest that our brown boys and our black boys are being killed? That there is things that we need to work out. And what does it feel to a people? To a people that felt themselves to be part of, that their first response of their government after a catastrophic hurricane is a reference to the Puerto Rican debt, without a confession or admission of our complicity in the matter. It is the clearest message that the Puerto Rican people are invisible and their inherent value is orderly denied by the government of the United States. And this morning, me, a preacher of a local church, you know, I'm astounded. I mean, I don't know if you've seen this, but I've seen it here more than, because I guess New York cable has a little more chance than what I had in Connecticut. But the televangelists, right, are fierce, and they're raising millions of dollars. They have a little counter that tells you, and they're reading their pledges as they're coming in. And I'm saying, what's wrong with that picture, right? So when I'm speaking this morning, I'm not speaking as a televangelist. I'm speaking as a simple local church minister. But I commit myself, like Paul, to preach a message of unity and humility until we recognize that there's something that is fundamentally wrong with our structure in our country. Until we recognize that the poor continue to be poor, that the marginalized continue to be marginalized, that we cannot give up our right to protest because our voices may be in the end the last thing we have. Then we're not going to begin to understand that unity in community begins with humility. Amen. We need to name the ills and the pain that is causing in our own bodies. And so this morning, I will kneel, because I can't stand. This morning, with my heels and all, I am going to kneel. Understand that we need to work on our own sins. I'm going to kneel until my brother doesn't get stopped when he comes see me in a suburban Connecticut. I'm going to kneel until my stepson is treated with equal dignity and respect in his job and in his community because he's a tall black man. I am going to kneel until the LGBTQ community does not have to explain their circumstances.
Amen.
I am going to kneel until women and girls are paid equally. And I will kneel until my people in Puerto Rico are recognized as equal American citizens and, more importantly, as human beings that deserve the right to life. I will kneel until my sister's house is rebuilt. And I will not try to convey the hearts of those that don't understand that I'm hoping that with our humility we can build community.
Amen.
Amen.